Hey everyone, Christina Del Rey, and it has been a while since I have been back with any astrology videos, so thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like and comment, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to talk about the solar eclipse happening on April 30th. So the eclipse axis, where the eclipses are happening, and they happen every 20 years, pretty much. And so if you think back to 20 years ago, where were you? There's going to be similar themes. And this year they're in Taurus and Scorpio. So if you have placements in Taurus or placements in Scorpio or chart points, you're going to feel these eclipses more than somebody who does not. So when we talk about a solar eclipse, and this is a north node eclipse, so a north node eclipse gives us something. It gifts us something. So in Taurus, this really has to do with values. It has to do with relationships. It has to do with security. So your security might be changing, or also to your self-worth. Your self-worth might be changing. This solar eclipse is a new beginning, and it's gifting you something, and it has to do with either relationships, self-worth, values. This is something that you're learning, but it is a positive. And of course, during eclipses as well, they can be portals to the other side too. So, I mean, anything can happen during an eclipse because it is unpredictable energy. And when an eclipse is heavily aspected by Uranus, which this one is, things can definitely get interesting. When we also talk about Taurus too, we could be talking about food and how your relationship with food might be. So that's another thing that could be changing for you. And then we talk about the South Node. South Node is what we are releasing. So the focus here is on the North Node. So we're going towards new values, new relationships, new ways that we find security, because maybe you got your security from something else before, and the way that you're getting your security now has changed. Because Uranus is in Taurus, there have been huge upheavals in security, huge upheavals in money. It's a very ungrounding shake up, Uranus and Taurus. So this eclipse is going to sort of mirror that. However, this eclipse does look like it's going to bring blessings for most people. But it is probably going to be a strong one for people, because we have, right before the eclipse, we have Pluto stationing, which is very powerful. Pluto is all about depth, and that is the ruler of the South Node. Now, the South Node is what we are releasing. Well, releasing trauma. We're releasing dark thoughts. We're releasing darkness, abuse, maybe even actions that you know are wrong and not of the light. Maybe you are releasing ways in which you are dealing with people, or people themselves, who are no longer in alignment with your values. Now, Uranus is going to be aspecting this eclipse. So what do we know about Uranus? Well, we just said shakeups, right? But not just shakeups, usually shakeups and shaking you free. Now, Uranus is also technology, and it's also independence and freedom. So this could play out in a few different ways. This could be shakeups in your security, shakeups in your money. This can be freedom and independence in your security, or from the way that you always got security before. and now you're doing it more independently. And you kind of feel empowered because of it. This is a North Node eclipse, so you are going to be, and we also have Jupiter and Neptune in the sky as well. So this is a very, and we also have Venus and Jupiter as well. So this is an eclipse that wants to give us something, wants to give us blessings in some way, and they're going to be related to those Taurus, ideals. And once again, they are determination, security, where you find your security in relationships, your security within yourself, your self-worth, maybe your food and your relationship with food, all these things. And maybe you're purging the old ways, and Taurus is showing you a new way. And sometimes with eclipses, you might not notice anything on that day. It might take a little bit, but you feel it, but it doesn't actually culminate until you get further into eclipse season. And we know that eclipses are also portals too. So if somebody crosses over during an eclipse, or around the eclipse gateway, which we are in right now, it is said that it can be kind of like a stairway right up to heaven. Maybe you don't believe in heaven, but right to the other side. It's a portal. It's an easy crossing to the other side. And we also want to talk about technology when we talk about Uranus too. This could be, sudden blessings with technology. Maybe you have a business at home and, it involves technology. Well, you could see a lot of, that taking off. If you have a website or if you have a channel, things could get accelerated now during this eclipse season. Okay, so I want to go through each sign and kind of talk about how the April 30th eclipse is going to affect them and what part of the chart. So when we talk about Aries, the solar eclipse falls in the second house for you. So this has to do with your self-worth and how you make money. So there is somehow a new beginning in either your confidence levels about how you make money or your self-worth. This could be you earning money in a more independent way. Maybe you're breaking free, you're getting shaken free from something, and you're earning your money more independently. Or this could just be you not really caring what other people think anymore, and kind of having a new beginning on your self-worth, how you feel about yourself, and your confidence. You might just be more independent. And what you'll be releasing during this eclipse season will be trauma, any kind of psychological trauma, any kind of psychological thoughts that maybe do not serve you anymore, secrets that you keep. You might be releasing any values that make you dependent upon other people. Or maybe like let's say if you get money from a certain source, you want to break free from that and you want to go your own way and make your own money. So that's where it's going to hit Aries. Okay, and Taurus. This eclipse is in your sign. Very exciting times for Taurians. They are definitely, if you're a Taurus, you are not going to be the same person you were in the beginning of this year as the end of this eclipse season. So the eclipse, of course, is in your first house. So this has to do with freedom and independence of how people see you, your body, your identity, and new values. This could be a new relationship with food as well as because this has to do with the body. This can be you being seen on some kind of technology. Maybe you're going to be seen online more. Maybe you're going to be filming more. You're just going to be have more of an internet presence or a media presence. So there's new beginnings on that. The physical body as well. Sometimes, maybe you decide to start an exercise regimen that's going to free you from, weight that you had or unhealthy ways that you had taken on and that had, don't serve your body anymore. But you're also becoming more of an independent person. You're not relying maybe on relationships the way that you used to, or relationships are not as important as developing your identity. You're going to be releasing the old relationships and the old values around relationships. So this should be a very interesting year. One that you could change your hair. You could change the way you look completely and shock people right now. So like I said, Uranus and Taurus, stability is not there, right? It's shaky because you're supposed to be shaken free from whatever was secure for you before, and now have security in a new way. You're going to develop your own security based upon your own identity. Okay, Gemini, where does the solar eclipse fall for you? Well, for you, it's going to be in the 12th house. So new beginnings and with like freedom, maybe like taking the chains off. It's like maybe you were being held back and now like these new beginnings are happening where, it's like an ending that becomes a new beginning. And you have new values. It could be the internet. You might be seen, maybe you are behind the scenes on something on the internet, or you're working behind the scenes in some kind of, this can be, places that you, places that you would go where nobody would really see too much of you, maybe like a hospital, or it could be, like a private program or something. And you're kind of having a new beginning there. For those of you who are not doing anything like that, this might be a new thought process, but like it's like subconscious thinking. This might be like any subconscious thoughts that were not serving you are moving out now. And you're going to, free yourself up. This is also the house of mediumship, and karmic opportunities might come in for you at this time. The 12th house is something that you might not see completely. You might just sort of have a feeling that like something new in your psyche is changing and it has a new beginning, and you're starting to feel more free. And what you're releasing, you will be releasing your daily work and health routine. So something about those, whatever's toxic there has to go. If you, if you no longer resonate with the foods that you've been consuming, or the exercise regimen or lack of, you have to get new values in your day-to-day routine or in your job. So it could be that you are, you have to purge values that were outdated in your daily routine or in your work area. Any darkness or abuse too has to go. Maybe, and this too, because this 12th house where the solar eclipse is the house of hidden enemies. So if you did have some hidden enemies within your group, this should be the end of that. And this should start a new beginning there. And any enemies that you have, they need to be gone. Anyone who's opposing you, it's time for them to leave. Anyone who's not supporting you in the correct way, in a Taurian way, because, Taurus is all about, values. It's all about relationships. It's about being secure. So anything, that was not doing that has to go and make room for new. And this sort of frees you in that manner. Okay, Cancer. So Cancer, and I am a Cancer rising too, so we have this going on in the 5th house, in the 11th house. So the 5th house is where we are releasing. The 11th house is where this solar eclipse is happening. So we're talking about new beginnings on friendships and groups you belong to. Really also has to do with brand new hopes, wishes, and dreams. So maybe you planned your life in one way, and now you're like, well, scrap that. Now I have these new dreams. I have these new goals. Or, you have outgrown your friendship group and now you are in a new friendship group. This can also be new beginnings in any volunteer groups, or, if you belong to some kind of club, anything that the public sort of sees you. So this could be the internet as well. This could be, brand new beginnings, but your secure friends are probably not so secure at the moment. You're probably having to find new security, and maybe in your friendships, or friendships have been a bit insecure. So you are finding now security within different groups or different hopes, wishes, and dreams. What are you releasing during this eclipse season? So you'll be releasing relationships, any creative projects that have served their purpose, any relationships or old values that no longer serve you, gotta go. Your children could be going through a purging of their own. They could be changing friend groups. They could be there could be major changes there. They could be getting ready for college, or they could be getting into a relationship themselves or out of a relationship. So there you could see things happening with your children as well, if you have any. If this was technology, you might be putting yourself out in the public eye, and kind of in a bigger way. And this is not to say it's just during this solar eclipse. This is just the beginning of the eclipse season. So you're beginning this. Okay. Leo. The solar eclipse, and I am a Leo. So the solar eclipse is in our 10th house. So now remember, Uranus is there too. So our reputations, our career, how we are known in the world has been shaken up. This has been going on for quite some time. So now we have Uranus there. This solar eclipse gives us a new, fresh start, new values in our reputation. It's going to have, freedom, independence in our career, maybe even technology. Maybe we're integrating more technology, or we're seen on technology. Or maybe something could be shocking about us too. We could come out with something that shocks people right now. So, Uranus is really like, I'm going to go my own way, whether you like it or not. So, if you want to be an astrologer and run off to Tahiti, then you're going to go be an astrologer and run off to Tahiti. It's going to be something that might have shock value to people. Or if it's not shock, then it might be just freedom and independence. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I don't care what anybody has to say about it. So I know a lot of Leos out there are probably feeling this energy. Okay. And what are we releasing? So we're releasing our old family values and family curses, the ancestral curses. Maybe, maybe your mom and your grandma and your great grandma never drove. And now you're like, nope, you know what? I'm going to learn how to drive. You're breaking those ancestral curses. Whatever has come up, and you've had to look at it. You have to look at what has been in the history books for your family, and how are you going to break free of that? And that is what we are focused on. So it's going to have to do with reputation, and your reputation might not exactly fit with that family value piece. So you're going your own way, might upset a few people in the family, but it is what it is, right? We are Leos. We're going to do what we want to do with that Uranus there. We're going to go our own way, and we're going to do the best we can for us. Okay, Virgo. The solar eclipse is in your 9th house. So this really has to do with a new beginning on traveling. It could be a new beginning with education and teaching. It could be broadcasting, and it could be some kind of new legal matter that is unfolding for you. This 9th house kind of covers a lot of topics. So, without seeing your individual birth chart, this is just a general reading, but you're kind of trying to find your place in the world with the 9th house. So what are your philosophies? Maybe you have new values now. Maybe your old values are, what you're purging is your old thought process. So those thoughts, any darkness, any thought process that wasn't serving you, and to an extent, you might not really want to be around this area. You might want to get out of Dodge and travel. That's what is calling you at this time. If you are looking to publish, this would be a really good time for publishing as well, starting with the solar eclipse. And also too, if you do any work, teaching, or broadcasting, this is a great time to also begin that and talking about new values. Something here is changing about your place in the world, Virgo, and your values in the world. Libra. So Libra, the solar eclipse is in your 8th house. So this has to do with, this is investments, this is intimacy and values. This is like your deep, intimate values that you share with somebody, though. And this has to do with money as well. So this is not money that you get from your paycheck necessarily. This is more like investment money or money you share with a marriage partner or a partner. So there's a new beginning there. So maybe you are moving in with somebody, or maybe you are investing in a new endeavor. Maybe you are going to counseling to release some of the trauma that you have endured for the past couple years. But there is definitely a new beginning here. This is also the area of psychic abilities. And you could be starting a whole new, interest in the occult. You could be flipping tarot cards or, studying astrology, but it seems like there's a new beginning in this area. What are you releasing? So you're releasing your old values, maybe the old way that you had income coming in, and you might be releasing how you felt about yourself in the past. Maybe your lack of confidence in yourself, you're kind of releasing that. And you might be gaining confidence or security through an intimate partner, or through some kind of shared resource or something that you share with a partner. Scorpio. So Scorpio, this solar eclipse has to do with your relationships. So this is a brand new start in relationships and how you value relationships. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus does rule your relationship sector. So we're talking about values and relationships, and maybe even business partnerships as well. This could have a technological piece to it because Uranus is there. So it could be shakeups in relationships, finally getting a new beginning. This can also be coming out with a shocking relationship too, and that might apply to some people more than others, or a shocking business partnership of some kind. But because Uranus is here, it may have a little bit of shock value, or it really could just be you going your own way, being with somebody and really not caring what other people think. I'm going to be with this person and that's the end of it. So both romantic relationships and business partnerships are highlighted here. It could be one or the other, or it could be both as well. And this is the area of the public as well. So people might be seeing your relationship more, or they might be seeing your business partnership more, or whatever you're doing that has to do with like teamwork on a technological platform might be shown to the world as well. But whatever it is, you're gaining security from it. You're rearranging your values. You're gaining some kind of security, whereas maybe you didn't have security in relationships before, but now you're gaining that. You're learning those lessons. And you're releasing those old values this year during this eclipse season, of being so independent, almost too independent on yourself, and you're kind of seeing how good it could be having a partnership with somebody, and maybe just leaving that selfish part of you behind. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, the solar eclipse is in your 6th house. So that has to do with work. How is work changing for you? What is beginning? Or this could be your health routine as well. So maybe your relationship with food needs to change here. So maybe there's a new beginning there. Maybe there's a new beginning on an exercise routine. Maybe things at work are changing. Something's going on in this area of the chart that kind of maybe it hasn't been so secure in the work area. Maybe it's been a little bit of a shakeup with health and with your work routine, everyday work routine. But now, values are changing. Maybe even relationships in the workforce could be switching now. But there's a new beginning here somewhere. And what are you releasing? Well, you're releasing karmic endings. So if there's a relationship now that's ending, a work relationship, business partnership, any kind of subconscious darkness or subconscious thinking that no longer serves you, that's got to go. Releasing subconscious values. So anything that, you believed it, but you didn't really realize you believed it, that's got to go. And then you have to go towards health, healthy regimens. Capricorn. So the solar eclipse for you falls in your 5th house, which is relationships and children. So because this eclipse wants to gift you something, you could have the gift of a baby, a pregnancy, if that is something that you are willing to, pursue. Of course, you would have to take action for that. But, a pregnancy is definitely, a possibility here. If it's not pregnancy for you, then it could be giving birth to a new project or a gift with one of your children. If you already have children, this might be internet dating. It may be a new love relationship for you. This could work out in many ways, but this is kind of exciting for Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, what are you in relationships? Capricorn probably were not very stable the last couple of years. And there still might be some shocking shakeups here, but this could be something that frees you as well. This is a new beginning, so you might be free. And, this is probably a good time for internet dating as well if you would like to meet somebody. What are you releasing? You are releasing your old friend group. You are releasing your old values, hopes, wishes, and dreams. Maybe you had hopes, wishes, and dreams with somebody, and that's no longer, that wasn't secure. So now you are moving towards new energy with relationships or creative projects, and you're releasing those friendship groups or those hopes, wishes, and dreams that you once had. But it's like a fresh new beginning for you. Aquarius. The solar eclipse has to do with the home for you. So, are you buying a new home? This would be a great time to buy a new home. Don't forget, this is gifting us something. So, is it a new home? Is it a new relationship with your family? If you have an internet business inside the home, this is fantastic for that. Like, this is a wonderful new start to that. So not only is Uranus there, but Uranus is your ruler. There's a solar eclipse. We have the Venus and Jupiter connection. We have so much going on that really supports a home business or a home business channel that would do really, really well now. And also too, like this has to do with independence, creating independence for yourself within the home. It's like creating your karma for the future. So whatever you're doing in the home that you're beginning, that's going to pay off down the road. That's kind of creating karma for down the road, maybe for when you have children or when you get a new home. It could be for that. Also too, what are you releasing? You are releasing the old you. So the South Node is in your reputation area. So it has to do with, who were you before? That person's gone. So, the toxic part of you, whatever was toxic with your reputation or your career, you're no longer that person, and you can now release the trauma, you can release the darkness. And you can even begin new ancestral karma. Because whatever you do now may really kind of shake up the family. Whatever new thing you're starting might sort of shake up your family values, or maybe the ancestral curses that you had. And it might not go over super well, but it's like it will eventually. It's like it's starting brand new. It's starting a new karmic chapter for you and for your family for the future. Okay. Pisces. So Pisces, the solar eclipse falls in the 3rd house for you. So this has to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors, and your thought process, and also learning new skills. So this could be many things. You could have a new beginning on your neighborhood. This could be a new beginning on the values that you think now. They might be very different from the values that you had in the past, but you're rethinking these things now. You are you're contemplating them. You know, you are going your own way with your own thoughts and not really caring what other people think. This could be a new beginning with neighbors. Maybe you have new neighbors. Maybe there'll be friendships made. Your siblings could be going through a new beginning as well, or you could be going through a new cycle with a sibling. Taurus is really about, you know, money and values and feeling secure. So whatever thought processes or maybe even skills that you're learning, because third house is skills as well, maybe that was secure to you before, but now with Uranus, you know, in Taurus, and then this eclipse, maybe things have been a little bit shaky, but now you're going to find your security through something else, through a different skill, through different people in your neighborhood, through siblings in a different way or cousins in a different way. Maybe your thought processes are going to shift on some of these people. But you know, you are looking for new ways to be secure. This is a gifting eclipse. So, you know, it is going to give us something. And we have, you know, all these placements in your sign right now. You just had Jupiter, Neptune, you have Jupiter, Venus. Blessings should find you. And this should really have to do with yourself, your body, how you are seen in the world. So maybe, you know, the words that you're saying and the thoughts that you're thinking are completely different from how you thought or how people saw you before. And what are you releasing? You are releasing outdated philosophies, outdated values. Maybe you are releasing some kind of lawsuit that has been going on. Maybe you are releasing a religion, or maybe you're releasing, you know, leaving college or finishing up a program. But, you know, something is being released about your place in the world and your values, and new thought processes are coming in and people are seeing you in a new light. All right, so if you are interested in more horoscope videos, please stay tuned. I do plan to do many coming up, especially in the summer. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.